Hi, this is Arthur Robinson Jr. I am the creator of PowerfulInterviews.com. I am the creator of Audio Secrets Training Event.com. I want to welcome each and every one of you to this powerful video. In this interview that I have secured, you're going to experience life-changing information that you will not find anywhere else. I have secured an incredible interview with a great friend of mine, founder and chairman of CEO Space International, the largest support group for entrepreneurs and business owners. His name is Berny Dohrmann. Berny Dohrmann has personally mentored powerful thought leaders like Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, the phenomenal Sharon Lecter, the author of Outweighing the Devil, The Secret to Freedom and Success, the great Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen, the authors of Chicken Soup for the Soul, and the original host of HSN. And for those that don't know, HSN stands for the Home Shopping Network and the $1 Billion Man, and many, many more. So remember, this is not bullshit information. The correct information will change your situation. So in this interview, Bernie reveals underground secrets, how he says your brand has to be a lightning bolt from God. Berny Dohrmann also reveals underground secrets, how it took him 10 years to write his phenomenal book, Redemption, the Cooperation Revolution, and his book was personally quoted by former presidents and President Barack Obama himself. So right about now, go get your pen and your pad, sit back and relax, and write down some notes. In this interview that I'm going to reveal to you with my great friend, international speaker, founder and chairman of CEO Space International, Berny Dohrmann, this interview is going to change your life. So check it out. I have a wonderful person on the call, and he's a great friend of mine. His name is Berny Dohrmann. And for those that don't know Berny, let me explain to each and every one of you about this incredible, powerful man. Berny Dohrmann is the chairman of CEO Space International, the largest support organization for business owners and the inventor of Super Teaching, a Title I technology for public schools that greatly accelerates retention, frequently speaking on stages as the guest of nations and VIP conferences. Berny is a recognized author, presently completing his newest book titled Redemption, the Cooperative Revolution, and that is an awesome, impressive resume. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome the one, the only, the powerful Berny Dohrmann to the show.
Well, I want to tell you that Redemption, the Cooperation Revolution, has been released. It's at Amazon. Great for Christmas presents. And I want to tell you, the President of the United States is quoted from that book 4 times, and he told the head of the Russian Federation, Putin, that we cannot compete on Syria. We have to cooperate. And the result of that, and I'm not saying my book's the only reason, but it's the starter of why we didn't bomb Syria, why we're working with Iran, and the world's changing based on one book. Maybe you should get it. And I just left the Napoleon Hill Foundation, where they gave it away from stage, and I was speaking at their big release of Stickability, another great book for Christmas. And they were giving away Stickability of my book, and from the stage, and they showed the world film, Stickability, which is like The Secret. It's just as good. Everybody should get it, because Stickability is we've got to overcome all the blocks and adversarial things that happen in our lives to go to our greatness. And I got a standing ovation. I just flew back red-eye from that event, and it was really wonderful to watch everybody's reaction to their own ability to decide they're going to go through punch through, get to the other side of the roadblocks that come up in life for all of us, you know?
Bernie, can you explain to the listeners in layman's terms, who is the powerful Berny Dohrmann? How long you been in your powerful industry, and what is your expertise?
Well, I don't think that, and I think that most of the people that have any power don't believe, that I give gratitude every day for anything I do for others that comes from the other side. I give gratitude every day for my mentors and my coaches. I was brought up by a father who trained at the time in history that all the thought leaders came together for the first time. And at a place called High Valley Ranch in California, a man named Penn Patrick, who ran for governor in California, brought together Clement Stone, who was the founder of Positive Mental Attitude, brought together Napoleon Hill of Think and Grow Rich, brought together Walt Disney, brought together Bucky Fuller, brought together Earl. I was there when Earl Nightingale got his first big job. I was there when Zig Ziglar got hired.
Wow.
For the first time ever. And to see, Zig Ziglar as a young man get coached by my father, to watch Earl Nightingale get advice for his material and what he put out in the world as a thought leader, where your father was the coach to the minds that shaped the world. That's special upbringing. And you had a lot of mentors like Werner Erhard, who founded EST and Landmark, and John Hanley, who founded LifeSpring, and Tom Wilhite, who founded Sci World Seminars. These are the leading programs today. And I was brought up where the founders of those programs were in my home since I was a little boy. So I didn't take the programs, I lived them. And you had to think positively and create your own reality because of these thinkers. And so as I grew up and went into my own world, I didn't think I would be what my father was. But today, really as an old man, I'm sitting here as grandpa, and I'm the coach to, I've coached everyone, I've coached, and it's a privilege, it's an honor to give advice to Bob Proctor or Tony Robbins or Mark Victor Hansen or Jack Canfield or Harv. It's an honor to give advice to John Astronaut all the way to Ron Zeller. And so the thought leaders today are my dear friends. I know them. I've lived most of my life with them. I've helped them with their books and their outreach to the world, and I've been part of their lives, and they've been part of mine. And so we're trying to always improve the world. And today, when presidents are quoting from Redemption, the Cooperation Revolution, this is hand-carried to Jeb Bush, hand-carried to Hillary Clinton. The idea is that competition is dying. And the notion of competitive capitalism is a false model that is filled with corruption and terrible greed. And communism is a failed model of competitive bureaucracy. And the future is cooperative capitalism that's transparent, fully reportable, has no secrets. That's the big line, has no secrets. And if we're in integrity with each other, we don't need any secrets. We tell each other everything. And we trust each other. We're doing things to help each other. And the world is going to become cooperative, and the young and next generation won't stand for anything less. And so we see the one virus on the human mind is competition. It's a real virus with all sorts of toxicity. Every problem in your home is based on competition between you two guys. Every problem in parenting is competitively based. And every problem in the workspace is competition and competitive organization structure. Once you move to cooperative theory, if you do it in the workspace, you have performance you can't imagine. If you do it in the home space, you have sweeter lives. If you do it in parenting, you have a generation that's switched on and turned on. So cooperative, I think, thinking and thought is the final revolution for humanity. And the Bible for how to get there is redemption. The Cooperation Revolution. It took me 10 years to write that, and already presidents are quoting from it. And I mean, that's what I was hoping for. And if the leaders of the free world come out, like President Obama said at the Capitol Mall, we have to become a people once again that turns into each other for our solutions and stops turning on each other, like we're seeing Congress do such a terrible job, get a 5% approval rating. They got to become cooperative again. Congress, you got to become cooperative again. You've got to stop this competitive feeding frenzy. And all of us, we've got to become cooperative. We've got to become cooperative with each other and nurture each other. Life is too short to beat each other up. And so we've got to get our thinking right, and everything else will follow.
Now, Bernie, you have trained a lot of powerful thought leaders, and I know your father has trained a lot of powerful thought leaders, and I know he was a corporate trainer. What values did your father instill in you as you was coming up when you was a teenager?
Well, you know, we had in school in my day on my report card a grade, which was his most important grade out of all the subjects. And they don't even offer it to children today, but it was called citizenship. And when I went through school, we had to get an A in citizenship, all 9 of the children. Citizenship was how we treat each other, how we're going to be under a nation of law and treat each other. And he was huge on that, you know, on bringing up. He didn't care if we dug a ditch or we ran for public office. What he cared about his 9 children is we did what we chose with love and devotion, and we knew what we were doing contributed to others, and we did it well. We did it to the best of our ability. We didn't do anything halfway. He had one creed for living life. It was like he was a Navy guy, so it was always based on ships, but it was like taking that ship and pulling that control. He used to do it. He used to have the copper little controls of a ship, and he'd do the ringing and move it forward to full blast. He wanted us to be on full power in our life. Full power, Scotty, full power. You know, warp 8. And so his deal was you live life full blast. You don't live it half-assed. And he made us live our lives full blast, and we had to do that for contribution to others. His whole thing was never work for money, never work for anything you're trying to get, just work to serve others, and you'll have accumulation where you can give more to charity, and you'll never be able to keep up. You know, I look at Bill Gates. He's given away faster. Everybody's writing checks to give him more money because they think he manages giving it away better, and he's given away more than anyone in the history of the world in a single lifetime. And as he gives it away, he went back on the wealthiest man in the world list by Forbes because the Lord is raining on it. As fast as he gives it away, he keeps getting it in. He can't give it away fast enough. That he's still the wealthiest man in the world. Who's the wealthiest man in the world? The man that's given away more than anybody else. Now, if that's not the Lord's law of what my dad was teaching his kids at work, I don't know anything else you can look to. I mean, here he is giving it away faster than anybody, trying to give it all away, and he's still the wealthiest man in the world. The Lord is blessing him so much, and he gets authority to give even more away, even more than he thought away, even more than the scale he began thinking about away. Now he's having the trouble of how to organize the people and machinery to keep up with the giving.
Wow. Now, we have entrepreneurs and business owners all over the world that is listening to this show right now. Can you explain to them in your own powerful way, what is your definition of marketing, and what does marketing mean to you?
Marketing is nothing that you get from third parties. Now, you need professionals to help you, but be very guarded when they start to talk about branding, where they want to get into your core authentic self. And they want to know how you express that in the brand, because that doesn't matter at all. The only thing that matters is the description of what you're doing. In other words, call it a service or a product. That's the box. And what matters is the Christmas paper on the box. That is the brand message that is now going to have impact to the audience, so that your brand should be a lightning bolt from God that pierces your head, pierces your heart, and goes right to the soul, twitters you, and keeps you in a constant state of remembering and emotional connection and retention and attachment to that message. Now, if your brand is nothing like that, it doesn't have that energy, then you need to reframe your brand, and the market will find you, pass you along, and stay with you loyally. Until you have that lightning bolt from God to pierce all the noise that we're receiving and get inside us, you haven't done your brand homework. You haven't done the packaging of the Christmas paper on the box. You're so interested in the box, you don't have the Christmas paper in which millions upon millions will tear it open and look inside. So get your Christmas paper, and don't worry, the box will be benefiting more people than you could imagine once you put the Christmas paper to just wrap your genius so more of us can get it.
So would you say that marketing done right is the quickest path to the sale?
Well, I think that most people don't spend the biggest part of your budget for the next 24 months has to be revised. The cost of everything you've got is wrong. If you're growing and you're growing rapidly, the cost of everything over 24 months is 60% higher than you think. The cost of advertising and public relations, that's what marketing is the channel by which you're going to advertise, whichever way you do it, and the way you put public relations around your ad outreach. That combination should be triple what your cost of everything is. It should be the biggest item. So if the cost of your office, your salary, your car, all the things to operate, your product, your inventory, your management of getting it to the market, all the costs that you can imagine. The cost of branding and marketing to get it to the market should be 3 times that for 2 years. The result is for the next 10 years, you'll have your market. But you've got to spend money to make money, and the biggest cost is getting you and you and you and you, because you're busy. You're in making a ham and cheese sandwich. You're driving the car. You're on your laptop while you're listening. You to stop. Listen, I'm talking to you. And to get your message so that it gets through. Do you see the difference? Listen, I'm talking to you right now. You got to listen. And I'm saying it's just like branding the radio show. Have you gone to 10 people and say, you have to listen to this show? Have you shared this link out? Do you know what that would do? If just you sent it to 10, the difference of what would happen when you have this many thousands listening who send it to 10, you have an audience that becomes your community, and you build community. And building community is everything in today's marketing. Let me give you another fact. You're going to go online, and it's going to happen for you. Folks, there are more websites online than there are humans on the planet. There are more billions of websites, and they're adding 150 million this month. 150 million this month.
Wow.
How are you going to stand out of the noise, the sucking sound, Ross Perot's sucking sound? How are you going to get your brand to stand up? You've got to market. You've got to get to your top groups and get them to click your site. It still takes money to do that. You have to have an ability to get a marketing plan, a real